Hi, I am Kejer on Two Wheels, and today we will be reviewing the Revit Dirt 2 gloves. So, these, despite the name being Dirt 2, these are not dirt bike gloves. These are road gloves for the summer. The name is a bit misleading. Other than that, I'm going to take these off and then put them again. You have these. They cost around 80 euros. In American, it should be also $80, 85, 86, something like that. And for these 80 euros, you get a short gauntlet. It's not completely short. I would say it's kind of intermediate. This is Velcro here, and it grabs pretty well. So it's not very, very short, but it's kind of short, okay? With full protection, which is the nice part about it. Let's go top to bottom. You have stiff knuckles, really stiff knuckles. This is proper protection. You have very stiff, these are foam thingies here on the finger, on the top of your fingers. Then you have these three elements, which also absorb a bit of impact, but their main purpose is to allow you to bend your fingers. And then you have three more foam, but these are very light, foam inserts here for the tip of your fingers. This is mesh vented, this is also mesh vented, mesh vented, mesh vented. This is hard, but will not provide protection against anything. This is mesh vented, and it's also a very small protective element, a bit of foam, okay? And you have a bit of stiffer foam here, and then you have a much stiffer, I'll have to use it on this glove, a much stiffer protector here, which is from Revit itself. It's intellectual property from Revit, which is a very cool protective system they've been using on nearly all their equipment, which protects in this axis. It works very well, but then it allows you to bend easily. So it bends really easily, but it's really stiff vertically. Really cool technology. I really dig these engineering parts. So, other than that, there's also a summer glove, and so you have mesh a bit everywhere. Oh, I forgot the pinky finger, which also has a couple of inserts here for when you crash and you fall down like this. You're doing a karate chop on the pavement, which usually results in a broken hand and not broken pavement. Unless you're Bruce Lee, then you would break the earth in half. Okay, so this is a summer glove. So you have little holes here on the leather, on the bottom. You have a nearly full mesh top for airflow. You also have a very complex construction. I would actually call this over-engineered, because there's a ton of little elements sewn together everywhere. It's a very, very complex glove, which for 80 bucks is quite impressive, to be honest. Yeah, 80 bucks is usually the good glove, but range. So it's a good glove, but it has it cuts a few corners. I don't see any corners cut here. Quality seems great, everything seems well stitched, double stitching a bit everywhere. Triple stitching in some places. This is single stitch here, but it's a protector which is inserted in a little leather parts. You also have a cell phone touch section here, which works very well, and another here. This also works very, very well. But then you have another thing. I'm going to take another glove from another brand, and this is my mid-year glove, my spring glove. It's not vented, but it's not lined, so it's that in between, for when it's not raining and it's not cold, but it's also not hot enough for these. Look at the size of my hands. This glove is gigantic. It's a huge glove, and usually summer gloves are much smaller. So what gives? Why is a summer glove, which has to be light and fresh and ventilated, is so gigantic? What is going on? It's simple. This is the size. This is correct size. Because when I bend my fingers like this, my fingertip is right here. It's perfect. This is the correct size. And the glove is very tight here, so it's attached here and on my wrist. Around my knuckles and around my wrist is very, it's quite tight. But the rest of the glove is very wide. The top of the fingers, look how much extra cloth I have here. Look at this. My fingers, this here, and there's this whole part here. What is going on? There's so much. Look at this. Look how wide this is. What is going on? It's so much room for your fingers. Why? And here's the thing. They were very smart with this, because all the mesh in the world makes very little difference if the air has nowhere to go. So it'll just skip over the glove. So what they did was make room for air to move inside the glove. So the air comes in when you're riding like this, right? In this position. The air goes in through this, and then it has room to move over your fingers underneath the glove and exit here and here. And you actually feel air passing here, because this is a very hot part. It has no ventilation because of the knuckle protector. And when you're stopped, you can feel it getting hot here. As soon as you start going, you can feel your sweat evaporating, but not from here, from this section, which is still covered. And from here, it just draws air through and keeps your hands much fresher than you'd expect. This is a much cooler glove than I was expecting when I bought it. I was very surprised. At first I was very disappointed because it was so big, and I thought, this is the wrong size. What is going on? When I started riding, even though there's a lot of room for your fingers are kind of floating in here. As soon as you grab the handles, it's perfect. Because when I bend, my fingers just attach to the bottom part of the leather, and it's thin enough that I can feel everything. So it feels like a summer glove. It does not feel like a winter glove, although it looks like a winter glove from sheer size alone. So this is quite an over-engineered glove, and it looks great. It looks very well made. It's not ridiculously expensive, but 80 bucks is 80 bucks. It is an expensive glove, but it's not a ridiculously expensive one. It's medium-high prices, but it completely beats whatever 40 buck glove you can get, because you have full freshness from weather, which is what you want in the summer, and you also have the full protection from a normal glove. The only thing that's not completely full protection is that it is not a full gauntlet. That's the only thing. But some people prefer the short gauntlet. I would actually prefer it to be long, but there just isn't one. So I just got this one. Even so, it is not a completely shorty glove. This part is still relatively large. And so it actually works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this buy. I was not expecting such a high quality product for this price, especially not one that is just so ridiculously over-engineered. This is nearly Kerbal level of over-engineering. Crikey. But these are great. Try them. You will like them. And if you buy them, I am sure you will not regret it. It might feel a bit different because you're riding in the summer with some gloves which feel big. So you're like, it's like I don't feel the handlebars. But as soon as you start riding, no, you actually feel them very well. Okay, granted, a proper dirt bike glove with those very thin textile ones will feel better, obviously. But these do not compromise the feel, and also don't compromise you on protection, and also don't compromise you on ventilation. And so it's that very, very nice in-between, except it's not actually an in-between. They're just great. I can see myself wearing these even when it's a lot cooler than it should be, because I really, really, really dig these. These work very well. And so that's it, the Revit Dirt 2 gloves. Very nice, very recommended. That's it. Okay, Gerard.